To celebrate All Might's birthday, I thought what better way than to talk about the time when he made America great again. Before Agent Orange, there was All Might, Japan's #1 hero and the world's greatest hero. All Might is without a doubt one of the greatest characters in this new generation of anime. Bro's been aura farming since the very first episode and had the entire world in the palm of his hands. Villains couldn't even get a gallon of milk without the possibility of All Might coming out of nowhere and Detroit smashing their shit. Kind of similar to Batman if you ask me, but that's a topic for discussion. But when he came toe to toe with All For One, all bets were off. All Might and All For One is the superhero version of Dio versus the Joestar bloodline. Generational fades were thrown for decades. What I find funny about All For One and All Might's beef is that it goes deeper than just the history of All For One and One For All. After All For One turned his master into a pack, this man All Might made it his mission to destroy everything All For One had. In their very first fight, this man punched him in the face so hard that All Might was laying in a puddle of blood. The punch had All For One needing a mask just to breathe. All For One is the greatest villain of all time in the My Hero universe, simply because of how deep his backstory is. Bro's just Thanos with Bane's mask. His aura was so deadly that everybody saw death and almost puked. Mans had an Undertaker streak before running into All Might. And just like All Might, the villains couldn't do anything without All For One's approval. But in my personal opinion, he's a bum, simply because he got arrested, and let's be honest, what villain gets arrested? So when the time finally came for these two titans to clash it out, they did not disappoint. After the League kidnapped Bakugo, everybody was on X Games mode. You had the heroes working with the feds looking like the next Mission Impossible movie. Pulling up secret identities, locations, even their browser history. The way they was moving, you would have thought the League had kidnapped Beyonce or Taylor Swift. All For One had All Might acting entirely different in the Camino Ward arc. Had All Might going Super Saiyan in the intro. Bro even pulled up to the League's hideout on some pizza delivery shit. Better pizza, better smash, Papa All Might. It low-key reminded me of when Squidward threw the pizza in the dude's face, didn't even give him a tip or nothing. You couldn't say this man's name without the possibility of All Might crashing out on you. All For One saves the League, and Deku, being the friendliest YN in anime, was getting ready to pull up when All Might pulled up on all the smoke. It's a bird, it's a plane. Nah, it's just All Might getting ready to rock your shit. All For One holds All Might back with ease, causing a huge shockwave. He points out to All Might that the bar is just around the corner. Why did it take you so long? You must be washed. But All Might was like, boy, you must have forgot what I did to you. I'm the reason you're Bane's #1 fan. All Might starts jumping up and down like Goku did before he got washed by Broly. And I'm like, okay, All Might, let's get to it. But All For One was like, you ain't Goku, and sends him flying. Then this man starts talking like he was in an episode of Dr. Stone. Bro was talking about air cannon plus spring limbs plus Kaioken times 4. And I'm like, nigga, this is the longest math equation ever. I'm about to just look up the answer on ChatGPT. All Might can't really go all out because Bakugo is in the way, and he can't focus on him and All For One at the same time. But luckily, Big Goat Midoriya comes up with a master plan to rescue Bakugo and for All Might to go all out. Now that the heroes and the villains are gone, it's time for the main event. We got the #1 hero and the #1 villain. All Might tries to hit him, but All For One uses Warp and have Gran Torino take the meanest punch in his life. Punched him so hard that he thought it was nap time. I'm surprised he didn't evaporate into dust. All Might hits a Detroit smash, but All For One blocked it again, simply because All Might was holding back. And I'm like, how much power does this man have? He throws punches so hard that he manipulates the weather, and you're telling me that that wasn't enough? It's alright though, I believe what he was saying because this man's face is living proof of how strong All Might is, or was. So he finally lands a punch, but it came at a price, because his time limit expired. All For One mentions All Might's former master, and All Might went full Will Smith and said, keep my master's name out your effing mouth. Then All Might gets caught lacking like he did when they first fought, and his true identity is revealed. Now the whole world knows that All Might is built like Steve Rogers before he took the Super Soldier Serum. But All Might was like, okay, that doesn't make a difference. It's still All Might in 4. That's when All For One drops the bombshell that Shigaraki is Nana's grandson. All Might was getting ready to crash out, but one of the innocent bystanders reminded All Might that now's not the time for this and dropped this nigga. So All Might powers up and is now looking like Quagmire when he discovered the hub. Endeavor does his best Vegeta impression and is like, "This is the guy I've been chasing? Prove me wrong, nigga." And then All For One powers up as well, and now both of their arms are big, and it turns into a battle of who beats off more than the other. Or should I say a beat off. Hey yo! It seems like All For One is gonna win the clash, but All Might gets the flashback jutsu power up and lands a hit on him. All For One was like, "You really think you're gonna win with that weak ass punch?" To which All Might yells back, "That's because I didn't put my back into it." Then this man proceeds to hit All For One with the greatest punch of all time, which was the United States of Smash. I always used to joke about if All Might ever used the United States of Smash, it would generate a nuke because, you know, we like to drop bombs on people. The punch knocked All For One out, and All Might stood victorious once again and flexed for the gram one last time. But that wasn't the end of their rivalry, because despite All Might being 2-0, every fight needs a trilogy, and that happens later on in the series. With that being said, thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, let me know what your favorite All Might moment is, and if you haven't already, check out my All Might vs. Nomu video. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.